This is the launch of Season 4 of Agile Digital Business Podcast. I am really glad that you are here listening, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you and your time. I hope that you find this to be a meaningful, lifelong learning experience and would love for you to subscribe to the show and share it with a friend. In just a moment, I'm going to cue the music, and then you'll hear me back here on the mic again as I share some of the plans that are underway for this season of the show. This is probably unique to me because of how close I am to the content and the production of this show, and because I know and love the musicians who are behind the wonderful music you hear throughout the episodes of Agile Digital Business. But I always get chills when the music starts playing. And here's a little accordion trivia for you. The low-end sound that you're hearing, part of that comes from a musette-tuned accordion I used to have that had a really powerful low end. I have since sold that accordion to a friend, and I'm now playing a different accordion, but I just always love hearing that musette-tuned accordion with that deep, powerful bass end in this particular clip. Okay, enough accordion and music trivia for you. I'll be back in just a moment with the main part of the content for this episode of the show. If you've been listening to the show, you know that it's an eclectic mix of my interests. So with that in mind, I want to give you a few dates of programs that are coming up and also a couple of music experiences that you might enjoy knowing about. There are two programs coming up in April that are being offered by the Kelley School of Business Executive Education. Both of these programs are ones that I have worked with in the past, and they had different names and were offered in a different location. Fantastic programs that I want you to be aware of. The first one is called Frontline Leadership. It's April 6th and 7th in Indianapolis, Indiana. That program is taught by Trusley and Paul Slaggert, and it used to be called Supervisory Development. The second program I wanted to let you know about that is also being offered through the Kelley School of Business Executive Education is called Developing the Effective Technical Leader. That's a program taught by Dr. Pete DeLisle. He designed that program a few years back, and it had been called Engineering Leadership and has, like the other program, experienced a name change. The Developing the Effective Technical Leader program will run in Bloomington, Indiana, on the campus of Indiana University, and that one is April 5th through the 7th, 2022. Another program I wanted to let you know about, I will go into a little bit more detail about it in just a moment here in this episode, but just wanted to get the date on your radar. I am going to be offering a virtual session each month in this program, and I run it in the platform Mastermind, which is where you can find my other courses as well. This is an opportunity to take the workplace assessment and everything DiSC and then get together with others who have gone through the assessment and have a discussion in a virtual environment. That will be a 90-minute discussion, and I'm providing a couple of different date and time options in the month of February 2022, and we'll do that again in March. So if you've been curious to find out about what your style is in the DiSC profile, or if you would like to take the assessment in the Catalyst platform, that's the new online platform that Wiley uses. DiSC is a Wiley brand, as is the 5 behaviors. This is a great opportunity to be able to do that. This program is also a neat opportunity if you would like to see what the program is like, if you'd like to take the assessment yourself and talk with others about it before you bring it into your whole team. I'll list more about that in the show notes. You'll also hear more about the experiential learning event that I've designed with an acoustic rock band, and that program is run on a custom basis, so if you're interested in bringing that into your organization, just reach out to me and let me know, and we can talk about it a little bit further. You'll hear more in just a few minutes about that program. And to wrap this up, I want to let you know about a couple of music dates coming up. On February 12th, my husband Scott Greeson and I will be doing a Facebook Live broadcast from his music page in Facebook. The handle is @ScottGreesonMusic. Our friend and musician from the Indianapolis area, Brady Joseph, is going to join us, and that will just be a fun, relaxing hour of music. Saturday evening, February 12th, 8:30 p.m. in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Then on May 7th, we will be doing a concert with Michael Kelsey and Courtney von Drehle. We'll be playing as a quartet that evening at the Taft Theater. That's in Lafayette, Indiana. And we are looking into live streaming that event as well. So I will keep you posted here on the podcast and in our social media channels. So if you are interested in either attending live, you'll be able to get ticket information soon, or if you would like to watch the live stream, I'll have more details coming on that. Again, that's the evening of May 7th in Lafayette, Indiana. Myself, Vickie Maris, and my husband, Scott Greeson, and Michael Kelsey from Indianapolis, Indiana, and Courtney von Drehle from Portland, Oregon. The four of us will be performing as a quartet, and it looks like members of our band will be joining us for part of that show. We cannot wait. It's just going to be such a fun evening. I hope you can join us either in person or virtually. All right, before you commit to listening to the rest of this episode, I do want to let you know that I just have recently, earlier today, recorded a new episode to replace the introduction of the podcast. So if you have just started listening to the show and you started with the introductory episode, then you've heard most of this content already. But if you started listening to the show with this episode, then this will all be new for you. Or maybe you started listening in season 2 or 3 and you had not scrolled back to listen to the introduction. So this also would be new for you. I wanted to make you aware of that in case you have already listened to the revised version of the introductory episode. All right, with that, I will get rolling with the rest of the show. You are listening to Agile Digital Business Podcast. You might be hearing a new name for the show coming up in the near future, since the topics of each season have moved beyond the digital aspect of business and marketing. I am your host, Vickie Maris. The show is now in season 4, and I'm exploring the topics of leadership, personal development, and team communications. In this past year, I earned my certification as a facilitator of the DiSC profile, or more specifically, the workplace profile, in the portfolio of content from Everything DiSC. I also facilitate the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team. Both of these are Wiley brands. I put the podcast on a pause for a while last year as I was launching my consulting business, Teach, Inspire, Connect, as a facilitator in team development activities and a coach for individuals for personal development. This pivot in my career has brought several speaking engagements, both virtual and in person. I'm having an absolute blast with that. The opportunities to lead DiSC profile sessions for teams have also been growing in my business, and I've been experiencing leading discussions in staff retreats and for people participating in executive education programs. If you've been a listener to the show since I launched it back in 2015 under the name of Online Course Connections, you have picked up that I have many interests. I have a graduate degree in educational technology and a certification as a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt that I earned from Purdue University, that's my alma mater, and a certificate in digital marketing that I earned from the University of Notre Dame. In my career, I've spent several years in corporate America in marketing communications roles, as well as in academia in continuing education and design of learning experiences for the online environment. Much of that has been in the business development space, where I've been working with clients and potential adult students of these online learning opportunities. The varied experiences from my life as a musician and as a farm owner and horse and llama trainer often make their way into my talks and into my workshops and episodes of this very show that you're listening to. In fact, in this short episode, I'll share about a team development program that includes an immersive learning experience as you observe an acoustic rock band while it's performing. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. It feels good to return to the mic, to be here in the vocal booth talking to you. I'm picturing your face as I am speaking these words right now. And actually, I just got chills on my arms, just feeling grateful for the way podcasting can connect you and me. I thank you for that. I thank you for being here. As I continue the show, it really is a joy for me to capture nuggets of wisdom from my guests and from my own experiences that I can share with you about leadership development, and team communications. I really do thank you for your interest in developing as a leader and in providing personal and professional growth opportunities to your team members. As you listen to the episodes in Season 4, you will hear an offer that I make for taking the assessment Everything DiSC Workplace and to participate in a virtual discussion about the DiSC styles. I make that available to you through the platform Mastermind, where I host my courses of Teach, Inspire, Connect. The opportunity to gain access to the assessment and to participate in the virtual discussion about Everything DiSC is made available first to you, one of my valued listeners of this podcast. This intro to DiSC is a great way to further explore the product before bringing it to your whole team. Or if you're an independent contractor or a solopreneur like myself, it's a low-commitment pathway to taking the DiSC profile and to gaining that detailed report that results from taking the online assessment in Wiley's Catalyst platform. Now, let me dive a little bit deeper into that program I mentioned earlier that involves your team and an acoustic rock band. And don't worry, you don't have to be a musician. You won't be playing music in this experiential learning event. But it's definitely an avenue for amping up the fun at your next team training or staff retreat. Here are a few insights about this program for you to consider. It's an experiential learning event that is designed to provide the people on your team with a unique, memorable way to combine a personal development learning experience with discussion about effective team communications. The program includes taking one of the Everything DiSC assessments in the Wiley platform, Catalyst, prior to the in-person portion of the program. Assessments that you might want to consider for the event include Everything DiSC Workplace, that's the one often referred to as the DiSC profile, or Everything DiSC Productive Conflict, or Everything DiSC Agile EQ, and there are others. I'm also a big fan of the products in the suite Work of Leaders, Management, and Sales. When we meet for the in-person portion, your team members will have a chance to choose their perspective for listening to the band. They might choose to sit next to the drummer or in between the lead singer and the keyboard player. If they prefer to sit out in the audience in a front row seat or in the wings of the stage area, they will have those options too. After watching the band work for a song or two, we'll take a break and we'll have a discussion around the observations that each one of us have made about the verbal and nonverbal cues that were shared by the team of musicians. If this experiential learning event with the band is something you would like for your team to experience, I would love to talk with you further about it. Just send me an email at vickie@vickieMaris.com, and I would be happy to get back with you and we can set up a time to talk. Throughout the podcast, you will pick up on my excitement about being an authorized partner of Everything DiSC and the 5 behaviors. It's a wonderful addition to my toolkit of assessments and topics that I now have available for clients. In addition to facilitating the team development content for your sessions, being an authorized partner provides me with the ability to serve as a reseller of the assessments, the virtual facilitator training, and other content and services within the Wiley suite of products. If you are interested in earning your certification as a facilitator of Everything DiSC workplace, or management, or sales, or productive conflict, I can help you with getting enrolled in an upcoming virtual training. Or if your organization is interested in hiring me to come in and facilitate a session for your next workshop, conference, or staff retreat. Whether it's in person or virtual, I would love to talk with you about your plans. Thank you for checking out this episode of the show. I appreciate you and your dedication of listening time. You will find a variety of topics in the first few seasons, from online learning experience design to an exploration of the voice interface and how marketers should be thinking about how consumers are turning to their digital voice assistants like Siri and Alexa. Then early in 2020, when the pandemic drastically began changing the world, you'll hear episodes about listening to customers and leading your teams through uncertainty and complexity. To set up a free call to chat about a team development session for your group, or to inquire for more details about a set of DiSC profiles for your group, or for the facilitation of a workshop or staff retreat, text the word DiSC profile to 855-797-1558. When you text the words DiSC profile, DISC PROFILE, to the number 855-797-1558, you'll get a reply text message from me requesting your preferred email address for your email subscription to my twice-monthly updates. So that's the email newsletter that I send out twice a month. I also do want to thank you for subscribing to this podcast and for telling somebody about the show. If you share it in your social media channels, consider including the hashtag teachinspireconnect, which will help me and my team find your post and reply with a thank you, and or share your post out further in the web. If you would like to suggest a guest for the show or suggest a topic for a future episode, you can include that as you rate and review the show in Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or the many other digital directories where it is located. You bless me and my team each time that you invest your time to listen to the show and also to rate and review the show. We thank you. All right, this is the point in the show where I ask you to join me, and let's go out and teach, inspire, and connect.